Imagine being stranded in the wilderness for 3 days with no food, no phone signal, and only the sound of your own heartbeat to keep you company. Now, picture surviving that ordeal not just by luck, but by a mix of faith, survival instincts, and a surprising source of inspiration. That's exactly what happened to Joe Sullivan, a 59-year-old man from Phoenix, whose story has sparked both awe and debate about how we prepare for the unexpected. But here's where it gets controversial. Was it Bear Grylls' TV tips that saved him, or was it something deeper, like the power of belief? Let's dive in. Joe's adventure began as a simple weekend retreat with a group of teenagers from his church. They were hiking near Fossil Creek, a serene spot in the Arizona desert, when things took a turn. As the group made their way back, Joe strayed from the path, accidentally, he says. Suddenly, he was alone, disoriented, and his phone battery was dying. "I just kept thinking, where is everybody?" he recalled. With 8% battery left, he tried to call for help but failed. Then the screen went black. "You're at the point now where it's do or die," he admitted. That's when the survivalist in him kicked in, thanks to Bear Grylls' famous mantra, "Follow the river, always follow the river." But following a river in the Arizona wilderness isn't a walk in the park. The terrain grew treacherous, with narrow paths, jagged rocks, and a 100-foot fall that left Joe with lacerations on his hands. "I used bushes and shrubs to rappel myself up," he explained. To stay hydrated, he resorted to eating prickly pear cactus and collecting water from puddles. "I always begged Our Lady to find me water. She always found me water," he said, crediting his faith for keeping him calm. And this is the part most people miss. Joe didn't just rely on physical survival skills. He turned to prayer, reciting the rosary as he stared at the stars, making peace with the possibility he might not make it out. By Tuesday, Joe stumbled onto a highway and flagged down a driver. When he arrived at the Camp Verde ranger station, he was dehydrated but alive. "He did remarkably well," said Dustin Richardson of the Camp Verde Marshal's office. "He didn't need much medical attention, which is a miracle in itself." Joe's story has since become a lesson in resilience, but it's also raised questions. Should we all be watching survival shows to prepare for emergencies? Or is there a better way to stay safe in the wild? And what about the role of faith in moments of crisis? Does it provide real psychological benefits, or is it just a coping mechanism? Joe himself draws a spiritual parallel to the biblical story of Jonah, calling his 3 days in the belly of the whale a transformative experience. "My message is, you need these trials to find your purpose," he said. Yet, not everyone agrees. Critics argue that relying on TV survival tips can be dangerous, as real-life scenarios often defy scripted advice. So what do you think? Is Bear Grylls' advice practical, or should we prioritize real-world training? Share your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, Richardson has a simple but crucial tip for hikers. Bring water, charge your phone, and if you get lost, stay put. That's where we'll start searching. And for those who want to stay updated on stories like Joe's, the 12 News Plus app offers live coverage of breaking news, weather, and even a glimpse of Arizona's stunning landscapes. Available on Roku and Amazon Fire TV, it's a free way to stay connected to the stories shaping our world. So whether you're a hiker, a survivalist, or just curious about the human spirit, Joe's story is a reminder. Sometimes the line between survival and surrender is thinner than we think.